I always wondered why people were so afraid of starting something new. And I myself have not been immune from this. I have fallen victim to it a lot of times subconsciously, actually. And I've seen so many people in all walks of life plague themselves with this fear. So, to put it in simple terms, there's something that you want to do. Maybe it's start a business, maybe it's venture into a new relationship, maybe it's write a book, maybe it's read a book. Or it could be health related, could be spiritual related, whatever. But you are, for some reason, procrastinating on starting. And you know that starting this will eventually help you accomplish something that presumably will make you happier, will endow your future with a better circumstance. But you stop, you procrastinate. And I originally accredited this to people are looking for a reason to not start, but I never understood why. It's clear that they are looking for a reason to not start because they come up with elaborate reasons. Usually the reason is that they're not ready, and that can be explained away with many reasons. I don't have enough money. I don't have the time. I don't have the skills. I'm not fit for this. And so they'll come up with unbelievable amounts of justifications, and that's observable. But the real question is why? Why does this happen to people? Because it's such a self-defeating, counterproductive, against their goals, against their best wishes. Why do they do this? And then I came across this theory, which it's called self-handicapping and ego preservation. And it was theorized by psychologists Edward Jones and Stephen Berglas. And what they state, I'm summarizing here, is that people deliberately create obstacles and delays because they don't want to entertain the possibility that they're going to fail at the thing that they're trying to do. And so that's why this is an ego preservation theory, because what you're saying is, hey, my current ego, whether I'm proud of it or not, is what it is. I'm surviving with its current situation. Why would I want to offer that up to the world or to the unknown, which is a good euphemism for the world, so that it can be potentially hurt? In other words, why do I want to do something knowing that it could fail? And so because they want to protect your ego, even though your ego would be expanded and enriched by doing the thing that you're procrastinating on, you procrastinate and therefore don't do it. And you come up with incredible reasons why you don't do it. And what's even more fascinating about this is that you're probably right. So the reason that the ego preservation theory works is because you're dead on. When you try something new, whether it's learn a new language, start a business, start an educational endeavor, start a spiritual endeavor, you will stink at that new thing. Very few people are these prodigies that can just adapt to some new environment like magic. The first several iterations of whatever you're trying to do are going to be awful. And that's actually, and because you know that's a certainty almost, you have even more reason to self-handicap yourself. And the best way to actually solve this problem is going to sound so cliche, but I'm going to give it to you because it's really worked in my life, which is to essentially start and have a period of time where you expect no results. In a matter of fact, you can expect anti-results. I read about this guy. It was the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, who, I know it's not in Atomic Habits, but he brought it up in a different conversation where he said he met a guy who taught himself how to go to the gym or started building that habit by literally, for some extended period of time, going to the gym for 5 minutes. So he would get in his car, drive to the gym, change his clothes, stand in the gym for 5 minutes, go back into the change room, change his clothes, and drive home. And he would do this, I don't remember exactly for how long, but he did this, he stuck to it. And Then, of course, once you're already at the gym for 5 minutes, you'll say, why don't I just do something? Then that becomes something that you can expand on. And when I first heard this, it became a question like, what a waste of time. Because why don't you just actually work out? And it's so brilliant, the insight here, which is, no, first of all, if you actually on day one went in and started to do an aggressive workout, your brain has the justification now as to why you shouldn't return. And it will impose that justification before you develop the mental calluses to continue. So what he was doing by only being there for 5 minutes and leaving is he's devoiding himself of all of the potential excuses. And also, when you're there for 5 minutes, you know you're not expecting something crazy to happen. You're not expecting some result. That's why I said is to eradicate the outcomes, the kind of fixations you might have on outcomes. You have to be ready to say, listen, I'm not going to accomplish the outcome yet. What I'm doing is I'm learning how to be bad. See, that's the problem with a lot of people. They think they should be good and they're going to learn how to be good. You have to actually first learn how to be bad at something. Once you learn how to be bad at something, your brain can form a mental model of A, what not to do, and B, show yourself that if I could be bad at this, I can also potentially one day be good, but at least I'm in the arena now. And so the self-handicapping and ego preservation theory gives us a good mental framework as to why we procrastinate on things that we want to do, and why, and to overcome that, one must actually release the ego component. The ego is basically saying, you're such and such person. You should only do something if you're going to get this much money or this much rewards or this much attention. And actually, that's not true. In order to develop that ego in this new thing that you're trying to do, you have to go in, relieve your ego, and start. One of the great quotes I ever heard, that stuck with me, rings in my ears all the times, which is, you do not have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. And what I would recommend people to do, and what I try to practice in my life, is fall in love with being bad at stuff. Being bad at something means you're already ahead of 90% of people. You're at least there. And now you can improve to becoming good. And also try things that you wouldn't normally try. I was one time recommended, I was trying to break a bad habit, and a mentor of mine said, hey, just switch the hand your watch is on. And I said, what? What the hell does that have to do with anything? And anyway, you're not supposed to wear your watch on your right hand. And I was good. Diatribe. And he said, no, just switch it and see what happens. Or brush your teeth with the other hand. Change the mojo. Change something about your reality so you gain the confidence that something is different. Starting something and being bad at it, now something you're different. Something is fundamentally different about your constitution. And you can use that as the stepping stone to then improve. And finally, detach yourself from the outcome when you're starting something new. It does not matter what you accomplish. It matters that you have the opportunity to accomplish something by actually starting.